My name is Julia with Julia Sue Stamping, where I'm passionate about stamping, coloring, creating paper crafts, cards, and sharing that fun with you. Today I'm here to talk about stamps, ink, paper, SIP, simple stamping. I think it's really important to remember that we don't need all the things. We don't need to have die cuts. We don't need to have the fancy machines that cut out the paper. We don't need to have the beautiful embellishments, although I'm here saying beautiful embellishments because they are beautiful. They add a lot to a card. You know what though, if you are budget stamping, as I am a lot of the times, you don't have to have that stuff. It's really nice. It adds a lot. It's not absolutely necessary and something that you have to have. I am from Northeast Ohio. Like I said, this is Julia Sue Stamping. If you would please give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe or follow button. It would help me a lot with getting these ideas and fun out to more people. I would really appreciate your help. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the card that I have today, and going to switch that camera around so that it's down facing the work surface. Bringing in the items that are being used for today's project. White cardstock that is cut 11 inches by 4¼ inches. I scored it at 3 3/4 and then 5½. So when it is this size, it usually gets scored at 5½. Let's go ahead and furnish that with the bone folder. Then folding back the 2 3/4 fold and make that nice and tight as well. Furnishing it with the bone folder. You can use a pair of scissors. You can use your fingernails if you want, whatever ends up helping you. My computer just told me to check the internet, so hopefully everything's working without any problem. We'll find out, won't we? I also have other white cardstock that is 2 of them cut at 4 1/4 by 3 inches. Set that aside. I've got blueberry bushel, which is this beautiful blue color, at 4½ by 3 1/4. The designer series paper being used for today's card has so many gorgeous colors and scenes that were actually watercolors done by one of the in-house artists of Stampin' Up. Absolutely gorgeous paper. It's a little bit blurry here. Let's see if we can get it to focus better. There we go. Let's see if we can show that one a little better. Nice. Aren't these just gorgeous? And this is simply a sampling of the cardstocks, and all of them have some cool stuff on the back as well. Set that aside. So this is 2 pieces that I cut from one of those. The 2 of them are 2½ by 4 inches, and then this other one that I cut, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to set these things aside then for a moment. And we already have this scored using some not snail, that's what they used to call it in the old days. This is Stampin' Seal, some adhesive. Put some adhesive on the edges, and it's going to be so beautifully framed by the white. Nice. Right. And then these 2 pieces, this is kind of a fun fold card, since it's not just a straight card that opens like this. It's a folded card. That's known as a fun fold card. And I think it goes like this on the designer series paper. You really won't be able to see a lot of the pattern that's on the front though. All right. We're going to put that on this piece right here. Nice. Now, the last piece of designer series paper is going to go right here. So I'm going to put some adhesive on, then lay it right down. Can you see how it's going to work then? Isn't that pretty? These two panels together almost make it a continuous picture. I'm going to take one of the blueberry bushel pieces. I'm going to go ahead and center it right here on this designer paper. All that's going to be used on this entire card today is stamps, ink, and paper. So I'm going to figure that out with my fingers where I'm going to need to put the adhesive. And now I'm going to lay this piece of blueberry bushel covering the piece that's on the bottom. I'll make sure it's going to be hiding that piece underneath. Then I lay it on down. So now it's stuck on there. See how that worked? If you open it all the way up, open it partly, you can still see this pretty design. This is what I meant when I said that you wouldn't be able to see this. It's covered mostly, but not all the way. Excellent. I would like to bring in some stamps now. Set this aside for a moment. The stamps that I used were the Very Best Occasions because I wanted to have this saying, the "You Make My Life Happier," and the Gorgeously Made. I'm using this dark silhouette as well as this image of the words. Blueberry bushel ink is what's being used. I'm going to open that up, click it open, and a piece of grid paper to protect my surface. Beginning with the large image, stamping it carefully into the ink, and setting my white cardstock down. I'm going to let it take up a large part. Doesn't that ink up nicely? And now for the words. You make my life happier. And I'm looking through. That came out pretty nice and even. Now for the other words that I said were going to be behind the image. I'm going to stamp it off twice, and then it's going to make it a much lighter color when it is stamped off twice. And again, this time I'm going to put it over here, filling up that space. Not always stamping in the same place. Boy, does it look confusing back there with all those words on the mat. I'm going to turn it over so it's easier to see. There we go. And that is the front piece. Using some adhesive. And now that gets centered. Excellent. Very nice. The last thing I'm going to do with this at this moment is I want to decorate the inside of the card as well. So I'm going to stamp off this image so that it's much lighter and easier to write a message on here, and you could go over this if you needed to. If it were very dark, you wouldn't be able to write your message over that. I like this card though because being white cardstock behind it, you can also use the back of the card if you needed to continue your message in any way. You could use this part, whatever you wanted to. Here we go. So here's the card. See how quick and easy it is to simply stamp out a card and get it ready to send out to a friend. I also really like to make sure that the envelopes are not plain. So I'm going to take that same image and decorate the envelope. Now when I send this card out to a friend, it's going to have a pretty envelope as well that matches. So no plain envelopes here. Well, that's it for this card. It's quick, easy, it's simple stamping, and it's nothing but stamps, ink, and paper. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you would please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and comment, that would help me a lot. If you have not already, please be sure you follow or subscribe to the channel, and that also helps a lot. I'll have the host code and my store in comments if you have seen anything that you would like to purchase. I appreciate your time so much. Have a good day. Goodbye.